I look at myself in the mirror and I wonder to myself, what if I was not a chef? Would I be happier? Sitting in an office space with my laptop open, a side screen, there's a cup of coffee that's really hot. I look at my watch. It's 5. I'm waiting for the clock to strike 5:30 so I can go back to my home. Pop, there's an email. The $100 million deal has gone through. But what am I doing here? I'm a corporate employee. This is fun. There's money in the bank account. Let's go home and check the thing out. I leave to go home. I meet my partner. We decide to sit and cook some food together and watch Netflix. After watching the show, we decide to retire to bed. I wake up next morning, go back to office. I do this again and again. A week, a month, maybe a few more months. And then I wonder, looking at myself, what's wrong with the whole routine? Am I not liking it? Can I do this for the rest of my life? Can I go back to office and look at the watch and wait for 5:30? Can I continue finding solace in these emails? I come back home one day and then I think, to make it better, let me call my friends. It's weekend. I text my friend, he doesn't reply, so I call him and I tell him, hey, let's hang out. It's the weekend. He replies back without answering my call in some time and says, sorry, bro, I'm busy. I go back to thinking, how can I make my life better? Maybe I need a child. But to want a child, my finances have to be stronger. I need more money. I have to work harder. This corporate job should suffice me, and I'll work for that promotion. But am I happier? I go back in front of the mirror and I look at myself. I can picture this young boy who's standing wanting to become a chef, but I hear in his voice that his parents have told him to do something better. Teachers told him to just go away and not think of becoming a chef because it's not a lucrative profession. Everyone's telling him constantly, becoming a chef might not make you happy. But what will? So I stand back and I look at myself today and I think to myself, is this better than the corporate job? The money might not be great. The amount of money I would have made in a corporate job by the time I'm 30 with the multiple promotions would not be great. But imagine every day when I wake up and I look at the mirror, I'm happy. I think of all the food I'm going to make. I think of all the desserts that I'm going to bake and make people happier. And that gives me so much satisfaction. Now we will stand back in the mirror. I will fix my chef coat and think to myself, what's next? What's next in my life is not the fact of how much money that I need to make further to further my vision and the child inside me will be happier. It's not about looking at the watch that it strikes 5:30. Sometimes I leave my workplace at 12 a.m. and start back at 5 a.m. when I have events. This is the big what if that I have answered for myself. What if I was not a chef? Would I be happier? No. But what if I continue looking myself in the mirror and I decide I will continue being a chef? I will share a certain timeline with all of you. In 2019, I had decided to join a corporate job at another chef's office. I decided to go to her workplace, but she would not allow me to enter her kitchen thinking that I'm a threat to her organization. She made me sit in the corporate office, and I did the same thing, waiting for her orders to come up, punching her orders, and make sure that the kitchen is making something. And my heart would sink every time I wanted a glimpse of what's going on in the kitchen, but I was not allowed inside. And I thought to myself, what if I did something of my own? Time passed by. I decided to leave that job. And I took the leap of faith. And I decided to think to myself, what if I start my own kitchen? I started working in that kitchen. The place caught fire, the place burned down. And then I thought to myself again, what if I give up? Will I be happy? I tried again, worked another job because I had no money of my own. And then again and again till we reached the lockdown. In 2020, when I sat at home and I was thinking between wanting to take up a corporate job versus starting something of my own, I stood back with the same question. What if I try again? What if I was not a chef? Would I be happier? The answer clearly said no. I still look at myself in the mirror and I look to myself and I look up to all the thoughts that I've had growing up all these years, that little child there, and all the smiles that we have spread across the country, meeting thousands of people, serving them zero sugar desserts, and that little ray of hope that keeps coming back, that success is imperative, is the failures that will lay the path to becoming who I want to become. I will not be able to look at myself in the mirror and be happy because the reflection of what if I was not a chef does not stand with me, because I stand with what if I was unhappy with the fact that I didn't become a chef. So, the crux of the conversation is for all of you sitting here and everyone who's going to listen to this, that there will always be a seemingly better opportunity that might be like a nightmare after a certain point. It might seem like a great dream to take up. If you like cricket, you got to practice and work towards it. If you're very passionate about it, even make it a profession. But don't live with the what if someone in your family or school has told you that you will not be successful. If you haven't tried hard enough, you will never be able to measure the success and look at yourself in the mirror on a happier day. The idea of becoming the best version of yourself is by working very hard towards it. And failure is something that lay foundation to it. So look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what if I want to be happier? What if I want to be the best version of myself? And what if I actually try and make this work out? And what if this actually works out? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is my time. I'm Harsh Kedia.